It was It was called the war, for it was the only one ever fought, and it lasted for centuries. Both sides fought for the right to exist, challenging each other with their opposite natures. The Eloi devised cunning tactics, built powerful weapons and terrible war machines that were released upon the enemy like scorpions onto ants. The Morlocks swarmed the proud cities like a tide, ravaging everything in their path, displaying neither doubt nor pity in their relentless onslaught. As desperation grew and hope wore thin, oaths were broken, senses were dulled, and strange and dangerous artifacts were abused. Powerful crystals were shattered, trampled by ignorance, unleashing their distorting energy across the realm. Soon the land was scorched, and the firmament started shimmering with unseen colors. On the gates of Lagash, the White City, the two armies clashed viciously for days, while reluctant Eloi artificers activated aberrant inventions and directed their mechanical servants against the enemy lines. On the 9th day, a grave rumble fell on the world, and both sides trembled as they watched the sky become obliterated while a great maelstrom swept over it all. The chaos that followed has never been properly described by any poet or scribe. There are vague accounts of mountains falling and the ground opening up like a mouth to swallow entire cities. We support our reason on the natural order of things, and this order was disrupted when the very fabric of reality was torn apart. Neither side would ever claim victory. The Eloi watched their numbers dwindle and their glory dim from the heights of their crumbling towers and battered keeps. Soon a sickness of the soul spread among their kind. They called it the Gloom, and it claimed the lives of their elders and champions indiscriminately. They could find no purpose. Their hunger for knowledge had lost its meaning. Meanwhile, the Morlock retreated like wounded beasts to the solace of their deep caves. Decimated by the armament and technology of their enemy, they waited fearfully for a death stroke that never came. From all this suffering and devastation, the void grew like a blister until it burst, infecting reality like a disease, stretching its tendrils of darkness across the ruined northern territories, corrupting it all with its nothingness. As the bewildered demiurge contemplated how his once proud work crumbled, a solemn silence fell, and then, rising in a crescendo from beyond the limits of possibility, a boundless, terrible wail was felt by all things living and not, shaking the very pillars of creation. And just before retreating forever to unknown sidereal regions, his cosmic finger signaled the broken realm. Once again, man was allowed to be.
Hello. Hello? Is this working? Hopefully it's working. I should have the hang of this by now. But recently I've been feeling kind of like a bit, I don't know, a bit overwhelmed by a number of different things. And I think usually a good kind of way for me to deal with like being overwhelmed or like having a lot of things going on, I usually find that I return to art for that. And I was thinking like I didn't want to do any art for any kind of RPG thing today, although we might draw inspiration from RPG stuff today. I just wanted to draw a nice piece. I was very interested. I've been watching. I've been looking at a lot of Robin Harris's art. He goes by Mystic Barbarism on Instagram. I'll probably put a link down in the description if I remember to later on. But they do amazing art, and I was very inspired by that. I wanted to do something similar. So another thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to maybe use music as a bit of an inspiration. So the introduction you just heard was the introduction to Warpland, which is an album from Hema Der Catastrophe with a bunch of amazing artists on it, including Noel, one of my favorite Dungeon Synths artists. So I was thinking we could use that as kind of like a musical inspiration while we draw. I was thinking a Dark Knight of some kind, not Batman, but I was thinking some kind of like knight. I've been reading a bunch of The Black Company, as you guys will know if you've been watching my streams. I mention it like every other stream. And I was thinking of actually depicting Soulcatcher, who is this one of the Taken. I don't want to spoil the book too much, but they're depicted as having this black morion on them, and they can't see out of it. I'm not sure whether I'm going to draw that, but that image kind of resonates in my head quite a bit. And yeah, I will actually start playing the music right about now. Hopefully it's not too loud. There you go. And we'll switch over screens to my main camera. So, whoa, the camera is a bit off. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of drawing already. Okay, the camera is shaking a little bit, but it will stabilize after a second or so. I've been doing a little bit of drawing, a bit of warming up. I've just been looking at Pinterest, doodling stuff as I look. And I've been thinking about like Morions. I've been drawing some here. And I've just been trying to get a general feel for what I want to draw today. I'm still not exactly sure what I want to draw, to be honest with you. But I kind of wanted to do a larger piece today, if that is at all possible. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go through the thumbnailing phase. And we're going to try to, try to figure out the dimensions of all of it, whether it's going to be landscape or portrait. We'll figure out some of the details, mainly the composition. Welcome to the stream, Nokia. Hello. So, yeah, I basically was just doing some warm-up here. This is the sheet where I'm going to be doing my thumbnailing on. I will then take another piece of paper and we will use that as the final kind of art piece. Man, I should take that piece of paper now because I'm scared I'll knock over everything. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's take this out. There we go. Alright, so we got our paper ready. We got our materials ready, which is, I'm primarily going to be using micron pens today. I was thinking about using a fountain pen, but I'll probably be using this and some Posca markers if we need to fill in some stuff. I believe I got the Soldiers Live before, Soldiers Live before I took a break from the Black Company books. They're so good. I think that like my chat window has this, I don't know if you guys can see it on OBS when you guys stream on YouTube, whoever here does streaming on YouTube. But if anybody can tell me how to remove the emoji section next to the chat window so that I can read the full message of stuff, that'll be greatly appreciated. But yeah, no, the Black Company books is really good. I'm at about 170 pages into it, I believe. I'm really enjoying my time with it. I'm just reading like about an hour every day. But yeah, we'll just basically do a few kind of thumbnail sketches and then we'll figure it out from there. I probably shouldn't be using this paper for thumbnail sketches, but who cares. This is slightly thicker paper, but yeah, usually I will just use printer paper if I'm doing a thumbnail sketch or sketches in general. I wasn't really doing that here. So let's just draw like a little bit of a square there. I know it's like super small. And that's supposed to be the point, like for a thumbnail, it's supposed to be a thumbnail, you know? Like it's supposed to be really small. And I just want to get a general idea of the composition that I want. Like I don't even really know the subject matter, I know it's gonna be some kind of knight. So I was thinking like maybe one of the earlier things I was thinking of is like kind of like a cloak behind them, like that. And like a black morion that you can't really see through. Something like that. I'm not gonna be sticking directly to Soulcatcher for this. I will probably end up like deviating from that quite a bit, but that's a good starting point, I think. And I think like maybe a sword hilt here will be good. I'm just trying to figure out how to frame the entire drawing, you know? I think something like that maybe. Maybe like his arm can go down here. And maybe he can like even go down a bit more. Like his hands can be visible here. Not sure. I think that might actually be interesting. That kind of like pose, like getting ready to strike kind of thing. There was also another pose that I was thinking of, which is he's in the background, or she is in the background, and they're holding up a weapon of some sort, like that, right? They're holding up a maybe, oh, they're holding it up by the blade. I think that'll be interesting actually. And then like it's like dripping down some kind of ichor or blood or something else from their hands. That's kind of an interesting composition right there, I think. Like something like that. It's got this kind of like nice kind of like all of this is gonna be dark, so like this part here is gonna be dark, this part is gonna be completely white, and it gives a nice kind of contrast there. And then we can do some detailing work and stuff, but we can do something like that maybe. Maybe have the eyes there, maybe not, I'm not sure. I kind of like this one actually. Are you doing thumbnailing right now? Yes, I am. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Caustic. So yeah, I'm thinking, I'm just kind of like doodling stuff out. Not really committing to anything yet. But I just want to figure out like, how do I want this thing to look in general? And I kind of like that actually, I kind of like that thumbnail over there. It's, you can tell what's going on, it's very evocative. They're holding the blade, which is an interesting thing, and there's just like blood coming out, so that's an interesting kind of shot there. Let's try another one out. So another one that I was thinking is kind of like them looking downwards. So I need to like show the Morion in some kind of capacity in terms of the perspective, something like that maybe. And I was thinking more of like a cape than armor. And I was thinking like for this one, we could have some kind of diagonal element. I'm not sure what yet, but maybe it could be like it could be like some kind of strap, or it could be a weapon. I'm not sure yet. I was thinking some kind of diagonal element here would be interesting. I actually am leaning towards that, so I might actually do more thumbnails based off this idea. Because I really like that idea of like them gripping the blade for some reason. I think it's really cool. This is kind of cool, I guess, but it's not as evocative as this or this. Probably could add the hands in here. And maybe like there could be a like a vertical element where they're like holding a sword. That looks pretty cool too, actually. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty okay. Not as cool as these two, but you know. Oh, you know what we could do? We could try combine these two together. So we could do like a one where they're kind of like grabbing the sword. Kind of like that, right? And it's a lot more dynamic this way as well. They're kind of like grabbing the sword with both of their arms. Or both their hands, rather. By the blade. And maybe we could like have that kind of pop out there. And it's like kind of a Zweihander, I think will be interesting. Like they're half swording it, but not in the way that you normally think a blade should be half sworded. And there's like blood leaking downwards. And like that. And maybe their hands cover their face. I think that might be interesting. And there's like a smile. I think that might be cool actually. I kind of like this kind of look. I still have to figure out the anatomy of this, but I do like this more than this for sure. Where it's kind of like, it's kind of grabbing that. And in this aspect, I will have to actually detail out a bunch of the armor, because a lot of it is going to be quite prominent here. And I'll basically do research into that when I need to. Like, I'll look at some Pinterest boards that I have of armor and stuff. I think maybe, yeah, having that will work. I still like this one more, I think. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate the holding of the blade into the drawing itself. Yo, holy shit! It's one of my favorite podcasts. It's The Weekly Scroll. Hello. Welcome to the stream. If you guys don't know about The Weekly Scroll, what are you doing? But no, you definitely check out their interviews, their product reviews. A lot of their stuff is really, really cool. I think they're hugely underrated. Definitely one of my favorite like RPG podcasts out there, period. But yeah, today we're not really doing any kind of anything like RPG centric. We're just kind of like figuring out an illustration, which is kind of rare for this stream, I think. One of your favorites too? Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. Actually, for my interview with Johan Nor, the only kind of like practice that I did was I watched their interview with him. That was the only practice that I did for that, and I had not interviewed anyone before. So I kind of went into it a bit nervous, but that video gave me some confidence. Okay, so I'm thinking like holding the blade. I don't like this. I don't think this is good. So I like the idea of them holding the blade. Like this is pretty cool, I think. This is also pretty good. I kind of like the verticality of it and the diagonal aspect of things here. This is kind of dynamic, which is cool, I guess, but I wonder if I can incorporate these two together. That's what I'm thinking right now. Thank you for the kind words, of course! Thank you for doing all the cool stuff that you do. Okay. Maybe we could do something a bit more. Yeah, let me try something like a little bit more dynamic. So we're gonna do the same kind of upwards shot here, but we're going to like have them grabbing the blade. How is that gonna work actually? Actually, this is gonna be the first time that I draw a complex illustration in traditional media on stream. Now that I think about it, I've never really done it. In fact, I generally do not do a lot of my complex illustrations completely on traditional media, and definitely not all at once. So that's gonna be interesting to see whether how badly I mess it up today. We'll see. Let's do something like that. Do something like that. Oh, that's kind of cool. So like this kind of effect, right? And then like the hilt is here. I think this might be good. I think this is cool. I could pop out of the frame there, maybe. I still think this is the best one. Followed by this. This is maybe kind of neat, but I think these two are the strongest that we got. Let's see. We're not the one to watch for that. We don't even write anything down. Just hit caffeine and let the ADHD rip. Well, I think you did a great job. Missed your Black Sword hack solo stream on my must-watch list. Oh yeah, that one was fun. That was like yesterday. But recently I was like, man, I should take a vacation. And you know, a vacation doesn't necessarily mean entertainment, right? I find it very hard to relax myself. Vacation means to vacate. Like, take a break from, you know, the regular stuff. And I was like, I haven't drawn just a straight up drawing in a while. And drawing does de-stress me, so I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna give myself license to just, you know, have a little bit of a break. Draw something cool. Try something out, you know. I don't usually go into this much detail for my doodles and stuff. Like my doodles, I don't even do any pencil sketches, I just go into it. Vacation, what is that? Yeah, that's the thing. Especially when I was doing video game development, I didn't really have vacations, right? I had a 2-week vacation in 5 years of video game development. So, you know. Black Sword hack is good. I still need to run it soon on stream. Yeah, I actually ran a one-on-one campaign of it for quite a bit. And it was very cool. The player actually let loose a whole realm of like living statues into their world, which is great. So I'm still thinking like this looks like the coolest thing. To me anyway. I kind of like this a lot. I'm just thinking about a face. I don't think the face looks interesting enough. So actually I did a sketch here, which was like kind of a triangle looking thing with an eye. I think I took that from Pinterest somewhere. But we could do something like that. Not exactly, but something more abstract maybe. So we could do something like maybe we could do something like like a symbol for the head. Or maybe like something a bit more abstract in terms of shape form. Like that. Like something like this kind of shape. And then holding out a dagger. We could also make it like something with like... I was messing with several designs for the helmet, and I kind of like this with the hair kind of flowing out. So maybe we could incorporate that in somehow. So if we use like something like this, right? We could have the hair kind of flowing out like that. And kind of have it be like a very solid kind of shape. That might be interesting to see. But I'm not sure whether that will completely work. Something like this could also be cool where we could like, you know, add a little bit of filigree, a little bit of ornate design into it. Make it look kind of crazy. Actually, that might work better. Yeah, like I think this kind of works better where it's just armor. It's just armor. And it's just in that shape. And we could even make it like something like that. Like maybe a skull. Like a skull engraved into this kind of mask. Which is something that I've been messing with lately. Something like that maybe. Try that. Let's see. Whenever I go on vacation, I get so bored after one day, I just start drawing and drinking to pass the time until I get home. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was like really questioning myself, like, what is it that's making me so tired? What is it that's making me so kind of like a little bit not so, like a little bit stressed out? And I'm like, I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely not the drawing. It's definitely not the drawing, because I don't think I ever get stressed out by drawing, regardless of whether it's for a commission or whatever. I don't really get stressed out from like drawing stuff. I might get stressed out from maybe doing it on stream. I'm not sure. I don't think I do, but that could be the case. But the act of drawing itself, I don't think I ever get really stressed out by that. So I was like, since I could rule that out, I might as well just do that, you know? I might as well just not do anything else. So no research, no reading new rule systems, no reading new campaign books, no reading adventures, none of that shit, right? None of that stuff. Just draw. Just do some drawing and just relax. Hello, Itaku's Bane. Hands gripping sword blades is so AI. Wait, what? Is it? Is it? Am I turning into a robot? I was talking about you with somebody else yesterday, and I heard through the grapevine, the possibly accurate grapevine, that you are covering a certain skirmish game fairly soon that I'm very excited for you to cover. I won't go into what that is, but God, I'm really excited for you to cover it. I might cover it myself as well, if I can figure out a time schedule for my videos for that. I have an 8-year-old hyped on sugar that comes with Christmas. This is my vacation. Oh man. Shout out to parents. They have a tough job. I think that's actually... You know what we could do? We could like kind of make this all in shadow, right? I was thinking of this. You have this all in shadow, like all of it kind of in shadow. And then, once I kind of draw this all out, I could use, if I can find it and not stab myself on my pencils, I could use one of these. So this is like a white gel marker, and it could like have like this kind of, is this even working? Could have like this kind of like white kind of blood seeping from it. That'll be kind of cool, right? Yeah, I think that might be good too. Like filling in that area with black and just have like this white blood dripping from it. That might be cool. Let's see. So many AI attempts have the hands gripping the blades. I wouldn't know. I don't really use it. I used to. That's the thing. I used to program that kind of stuff years ago, but not anymore. A Black Oath? Yes. Yes. I cannot wait for you to cover Warlord Ascendant. I don't know if you've tried any sessions of it yet. It is possibly my favorite solo wargaming thing that I've ever tried, which is not saying a lot. I've tried maybe 3 or 4. I'm not an expert. But Warlord Ascendant is incredible. So for those of you who have not tried any of Alex's stuff, you should. LXT's stuff, Black Oath Entertainment. They recently, not that recent, but they made this thing called Warlord Ascendant, which is similar to 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. It's kind of like this solo war game. It's incredible, really fun. One of the most fun experiences I've had just playing solo games. I really want to get back into it. The only thing is that I'm not sure how to show it in a video, because I find war games very hard to just communicate in a video, just in general. Also, is the music too loud? I think it is. Let me down it a little bit. There you go. I'm not surprised. It's designed for RPGers to move into skirmish gaming. Yeah, it's really good. I've actually been playing some kind of skirmish games with my friends. So I find that the thing I like the most about it is like what you said, right? It's very, very manageable, and it's kind of it does have that RPG element to it where I feel like I could even run a campaign from it if I left a lot of the rules a bit more open. I think I like this. I think in order for the composition to work, the hands themselves will have to be darkened as well, and the blade will have to be white, which is what I'm not sure about. I'm not sure whether I can properly convey that. I'm also not sure whether the background, how dark it should be in terms of the cloak and stuff. So I'm trying to figure all of that out right now. Like, what are the value structures in my drawing? So this is stuff that I will do for every drawing, but I will kind of do it in the background. I wouldn't really think about it all that much, but I'll think like, okay, this part is gonna be really dark. This part is going to be kinda grayish maybe, right? Because I actually started off as a painter, not as a inker. So I usually am like more keyed into that kind of mentality. So I'm trying to think like, okay, this is more gray, this is gonna be more dark. I'm gonna have to need a way to kind of like accentuate the blade here, as well as the hilt, which makes me think that this hilt here should actually be white. And the blood, of course, like I said, white blood. And we'll use the Posca markers for this section here, as well as a white hilt for that. This part is more gonna be gray. This part can be, you know, that part is fine. What I'm thinking of doing in order to separate it a little bit from the background, because I want the viewer to kind of look at this, then kind of look at this, is to have some stuff behind it, like that. Not exactly like this, but you kind of get the idea, right? Like something is separated a little bit from the background. And I could even like make the entire background completely dark. That could work as well. Let's actually try that out right now, since it's still the experimentation phase. Do you ever do pencil first? I think I'll be doing pencil first for the actual drawing, but for thumbnail sketches, I generally go fast and loose. So I'm just going to like kind of fill this up with some markers here. Kind of see how it looks. I don't even usually do thumbnails for my personal drawings. I usually like just go straight in. But I've been watching a few videos on composition lately, and I'm more and more convinced that even for my own personal work, which sometimes I don't even show anybody, right? I should be doing a bunch of thumbnail sketches first, if it's a larger piece. If it's a doodle, you know, doesn't matter, but if it's gonna be a larger piece that I'm gonna spend a bit of time on, should do some thumbnail sketching. So, yeah, so this is what I'm thinking, like, basically something like this. And I'm not sure whether that will work exactly. So I'm trying to figure out like a way to amalgamate the details in order to make it work. So I like this part here, like this top part here. I don't really like this part in the center here, it's very messy. So I'm thinking the hands should actually be white. The background here, I'm thinking should be completely dark. The hilt should be white. The robes should be gray. That's what I'm thinking. So let's do one more final kind of like pass through of this before we actually get to putting this on the page. Because I think this is what we want. I think this is very, very close. Also, this almost looks like some kind of Max Moon. Like if you've seen Max Moon's latest Kickstarter, which is for his Mark Borg universe, inspired by Aleister Crowley's writing. The name escapes me at the moment. I need to search this up. The Abyss of Hallucinations. I believe that the artwork kind of, there's like a creature in it that looks similar-ish to this. You could do some lines in negative with a white marker. I am actually going to be doing that, and I did show that just now. I have a white marker right here. Yes, Abyss of Hallucinations. There we go. Look at that. It works really well on postcards. Okay, cool. So let's think about this for a second. I'm a little bit intimidated. Like I said, I don't really do a lot of large pieces completely traditionally, and usually not on camera. But, you know, first time for everything. So, I'm just gonna try figuring out a value structure right now. So, no details, just the value structure. So it's gonna be like that, and then it's gonna be like that. And I'm also not used to planning things out as much as this. Like, if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I do this for every drawing, I don't. It's something new that I'm trying out. I'm trying to basically be a lot more structured in what I do so I can have a lot more consistent results. And also so that I can approach more complex subject matter, you know? So let's do that. Okay. Alright, so let's do something like this. And then there's a sword hilt there. A dagger of some sort. And there. Let's see, does this work? So this is gonna be very lightly detailed, at least the hand is. This part is gonna be in gray. This part is more gonna be in white. So let's do that. Let's fill it in. So this part is mostly gonna be in gray. Yeah, I have my doubts whether this particular composition will work, but even if it doesn't, what do I lose? Nothing, right? So might as well give it a shot. Okay, so let's do that. I kind of like, even though I did it for like just to show it off, I do like these like white lines here, so we might incorporate that into it somehow. Okay, so we'll just draw like a little bit of that and this. Let's see, thumbnailing is great practice for multiple reasons. Helps you with composition, warms your hands up, you jump straight into drawing the final piece. Yeah, one thing I've actually realized also is it also kind of like, I mean I do thumbnails, but I just don't do as many as this. And I definitely 100% do thumbnails for my commissions. It's just that for my personal work, I've taken to usually just winging it. But I wanted to try to approach some more complex subject matter and more complex compositions and stuff like it. And I thought, you know, like, I could just use the method I use for my commissions, but, you know, for my personal work. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that this is good. I like this. So we're gonna have to color the rest of this in dark as well, but I'm just gonna use a marker for that. Yo, hello Josh. Welcome. Yeah, let's just do something like that. Thank you all for tuning in, especially if it's late where you are at. It is currently 4:37 p.m. in Singapore. I wanted to go for a run this morning, but unfortunately it was raining the entire day, which has its own upsides, you know. Raining, I like rain. Kind of makes me feel cozy. Okay, I think this is a winner. If any of you disagree, well, tell me why. Because I'm kind of interested whether you guys think there's anything that I can do to improve this. One thing that I realize doesn't really strike out is the blood, right? Because I'm intending on putting a bunch of blood dripping from the hand there. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the focus, but let's just try it. Let's try like yeah, I think we can make it obvious. I think that's fine. I think I'm gonna zoom this in a bit. I think this is the one that we're going with. Although the proportions are a bit off, so I'm gonna use this or this as kind of like a more direct reference. But in terms of the value structure, I'm gonna be using this. So zooming back out, we are going to transfer this onto a pencil drawing, and we're gonna do it real simply. We're gonna be using a mechanical pencil. This is a Muji mechanical pencil. I'm gonna put this over here, and we're just going to just start drawing, I guess. So I'm just gonna try to figure out where I want the hit to be. I think like around there, and then like kind of like that. I don't really like erasing a lot in a lot of my sketches. Primarily for practical reasons. I don't like the eraser dust just kind of going all over the table. So you can see that I'll be drawing quite lightly for the most part. I hope you guys can still see what's going on. I don't think you can. Oh wait, you can. I think, at least from my screen, it looks like I can still kind of make out what's going on. I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I think that's good. Then we can kind of do something like that. Maybe, okay, a bit more triangular than that. You can add a little splash of red for effect. Oh, that might be good, especially since I do have some red markers with me. Where will I add it? Oh yeah, in the blood, of course. Although, so in order to do that, I will have to have some red Posca markers, which actually I just opened one yesterday. So these will actually go over the black ink. So that'll work. So we can do that. Okay, so we're gonna do like from here. Just gonna go down like that. Very broad shoulders. Go down like that. Let's see. We have a saying here, rough translation, a clay worker drinks from a broken pottery. I oftentimes think about it. Whenever I do art for personal projects, I'm way less critical of it. I think in order to grow, we artists need to step away from art and look at it from another person's perspective. I think it is vital to growing as an artist. I think, let me think about it for a bit. That is true. I find that more and more I'm trying to figure out how I view my own art though. Because I think my default is actually to look at it from another person's perspective. Not from my own perspective. And that has changed fairly recently. I'm starting to actually kind of like consider my own taste in terms of like my personal works more and more and more. But for a long time, I need the eraser this time. For a long time, I will by default kind of view it from another person's perspective, like, is it good, quote unquote, objectively speaking, which is kind of like not what I'm trying to say. But like, is it good compositionally speaking? Is it good in terms of this, in terms of that? But when I judge an art piece, I don't really judge it in terms of that, right? I usually judge it in terms of like a very abstract form of currency, which is how much soul does it have? How much does it speak to me? And I don't really use it all that often with my own art, and I'm trying to do that more and more. Like, it doesn't have to be technically groundbreaking. Alright, but does it speak to me on a personal level? Okay. This is way more in line with this one. So I think we're on the right track here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna make his hands have no armor on them. They're just wrinkled up muscles, if you will. I think that'll be interesting as kind of like a contrast from the armor piece that I'm going to put on top here. I think that will be interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this illustration will work, but let's give it a go. So we're gonna go with that. Okay, we're gonna okay. You know, it's insane to me how some people can just draw hands without issue. Those people are not real. Okay. I think I was talking to Johan at one point about it. And he's like, yeah, I used to have trouble drawing hands. Okay, so, let's see here. Okay, let's make this a little bit more natural. Oh, it's kind of looping back on itself. Let's use another track. Actually, no, let's continue with this track. Let's just skip that particular one. Let's use this album, sorry, not track, but let's skip that one. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I think that works. Okay, should I bring out my fucking ruler for the... Do I have a ruler even for this? Probably. I do. I've never used a ruler for my artwork, especially for my personal artwork before. God damn it. Okay, this is weird. Okay, I'm just gonna draw like that, and then I'm gonna draw rest around that. I don't even think that's like perpendicular or correct, but whatever. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna kind of like put it into the background there, because I realized the knuckles should be closer. Okay. So there's this muscle that goes from here all the way up to here. It's called the brachioradialis, and I'm gonna insert it right there. I'm gonna put the ropes there. Okay. Large hands. Okay, there we go. The thumb should be a bit further out. Yeah, I think like we get caught up in so much of our like need for like, at least for me, the need for like quality and the need for improvement of our craft that sometimes forget that it's just fun to draw, right? And that the soul of it matters a lot more, I think, in this very hard to describe kind of way. Let's see, soul of the art is important too, but I think as artists we owe it to our art to make it the best we can. We are humans after all, and we can easily swap out soul for laziness if we feel uninspired. I think it depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. Like for me, right, I find it pretty hard to be lazy. I don't know if that makes me sound pompous or anything, but it's something that I have actually had to okay, let me give you a bit of a story. When I was in university and I used to do like video game development, correct? I used to sleep on average, this is incredibly unhealthy, I should say that right out of the gate. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But I used to sleep on average about 4 hours. I will do on average, in terms of work per day, I work for about 18 hours a day. I couldn't stop myself from doing it. So I was seeing a therapist at the time, and something they said kind of resonated with me, which is that you're like, for you, it's always been about putting the brakes on instead of like actually trying to accelerate. So I've kind of like started trying a little bit more to go easy on myself over the years. So I think from that perspective, sure. But in terms of like if you're more prone to laziness or whatever the case might be, then yeah, like I'd agree with that. Okay. Do like hands are hard to draw, guys. Okay, let's do something like that. Yeah, sure. Kind of seems like they're gripping it too hard now, but actually that kind of works out in my favor, I think. Okay, that's good. Also, oh man, I hate eraser dust so much. This is the worst. Okay, let's go that. And let's actually put some inscriptions on this or something. But later on, we'll do that later. So we'll do, let's look at daggers. Ornate daggers. See whether we can find any kind of inspiration here. Yeah, let's do like one that's like kind of jagged. Like not very, not very comfortable to hold. For sure. Let's do something like that. And then in terms of the hilt, let's do like something like that. We can always like ink this out in detail later on. I want to actually save some of the details for the inking phase. So I'm not going to go like full hog into a lot of the penciling, but I do want to get a general idea of it. Let's see. Okay, like that. Hmm. I'm not sure about that. No, not changing my mind. Going to go like that. Oh my god, I hate eraser dust so much. Like that, and then like that. Yeah, like that. I think that's good. Man, you're all but lazy. Yeah, I used to have like a bit of a. Yeah, it used to be a bit of a problem for me. Like, just relaxing. Actually, I say that, but I literally started this stream by saying that I'm having trouble relaxing, so I'm forcing myself to do some drawing today. So actually, it's still a problem that I'm, you know, trying to figure out. I still don't know how to relax, really. It's so hard. I don't get how people do it at all. I'm a writer and hobbyist artist. My philosophy is a little simpler when thinking about creating stuff. I think of some cool shit and make some cool shit after it's done. If it's cool, then I'll show someone. I think that's a very healthy way of thinking about it. And I think that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to strive for. At least for me. Like, everybody can be different, but I think I personally agree with you a lot. I kind of want to go for that. I kind of want to just make cool shit and, you know, share it with other people and be inspired by cool shit. I don't want to think too much about, like, even though I will, this is a key point here maybe. I know that I will focus on the composition, I'll focus on the values, I'll focus on everything about that. The line work, if I'm doing painting, I'll think about brush economy. I will focus on that. So I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to focus on it regardless, right? So what I do is I try to have a bit of a mindset shift. And I try to think like, it's okay, I'm just making cool stuff. That's why I couldn't do what you do live. No, that's not true. Everybody can. Although, like, this is a little bit scary for me, to be honest. Because normally, the kind of stuff that I do live is stuff that I've done before, and it's a bit harder to mess up that way. I haven't really done a full large piece live before. I don't think. Maybe a while back, but not recently. Here's the problem. I have a bit of like chainmail covering this side now, right? Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut a rope in this way. And then kind of do that, cut a rope in that way. The reason why I'm doing this, in case you're wondering, is I want this section to be completely dark. So that's the plan anyway. Okay. Alright. Man, I love drawing fabric folds. I don't know about you guys, but it's like one of my favorite things. It's why I like to draw muscular people or old people. I find them very interesting to kind of draw. I like the fabric folds of the skin and stuff like that. And also on clothing, so I like drawing ropes and things like that. In terms of like ornate armor, I'm gonna have to look up some references, but we'll draw that into there. Let's see, is there anything else that I want to kind of figure out here? I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it up a little bit, so... I think what we're gonna, we're gonna kind of put on here, right? And we're gonna come down like that. And it's gonna be like the wind, kind of like flapping it in the breeze. Maybe not that much, like there. Yeah, like that. I think that'll be cool. That will kind of give us a little bit of flow, right? Okay. I don't usually do this much pencil work before I go straight into ink. Even for my commission work. Just, you know, a heads up. Let's see. I think, yeah, this whole part can be dark, and then we can use the blood to kind of like accentuate some things. I'm just wondering if that whole part is gonna be dark. I think I should stick to my original plan then. So the blood is gonna kind of drip down here, like that. Okay, there we go. Something like that. Kind of going down here as well. Okay, I think that's good enough to start with. In terms of like the ornate patterns on the helmet itself, I'm thinking I'll just make it up as I go along. Yeah, I'll just kind of make it up as I actually ink it out. I think that part I can actually make up. Hopefully, it's actually one of the more important parts, so I'm actually a bit doubtful now. So I'm actually doing a bit more detail. Believe me, you do cool shit. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring up Robin Harris's work, who did some artwork for Max Moon, who I talked about previously. And I'm gonna look at how he does some of his armor, actually. I'm gonna see if I can find anything that is kind of... not similar per se, but that I can kind of draw inspiration from, and see whether I can do something like that. Yeah, I'm like kind of like seeing a lot of like abstract patterns, and I'm just wondering if I can just kind of follow some of it a little bit and get the same effect. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can do that. And that looks kind of good, kind of like star-like patterns, right? In terms of going from here to here, I'd say yeah, maybe something like that. I think that's kind of cool, like this kind of like armor look to it. This part is still armor, so I think, yeah, we're gonna maybe, oh yeah, this part's supposed to be dark, I forgot. So maybe we'll do something like this. Alright. And then we'll like kind of have the darkness kind of fade out. Fade in? Yeah, fade in. Okay, the other thing that I want to do is I want to make sure it's obvious that this is like clothing folds. So, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this. Kind of like cutting into the whole composition, right? Like that. Okay, I think that this is actually turning out pretty okay. Okay, I do want to make the shoulders a bit more broad, like the initial composition had them. So I'm actually gonna change that up a bit, because I think that looks better. Okay, I think that's good. I think we're good to go. We can start inking. Let me just make sure that there's no extra details that we missed. Well, we have these here, but I think we'll be doing that in terms of like using a white marker. So I'm not too concerned about it. Should we do some kind of framing? I don't think we need to. Yeah, I don't think we need. Oh, whoa! I just fucking broke my pencil head. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that made a lot of noise. That kind of shocked me. I'm so sorry. I think we could do a bit of filigree here. Okay, there we go. And then, no, I think it's kind of good to go. We'll just do the patterns with white marker after the fact. But now comes the fun part, but also kind of the scary part, which is kind of inking a lot of this out, because I don't have that much detail on what the helmet is going to be like, actually. Even with all of this pencil work, I'm still not exactly sure how it's going to look like in the ink. Should I make it more geometric or more organic? I think geometric is the way to go for this. So I'm going to actually I'm actually gonna keep it as is. Yeah, I'm just gonna start. So we're gonna start with a smaller pen, which is not this. I need to find my Sakura Pigma Microns. It's here. We're gonna start with O3 or an O2, probably an O3. Let's start with an O3. Let's get rid of all of this horrible eraser marks, and let's start inking some detail. I don't even know if an O3 is too thick. I'm gonna go with an O2. No, actually an O3. I'm looking at the O2 nib and that's a bit too... Yep, this is good. This is perfect. Okay, let's start. So, where do we start? Let's just start at the hardest part, which is the helmet. And we mess up the whole thing. Well, we messed up the whole thing, it's fine. I tend to add a lot of like wrinkles even into the like helmet designs, even into like armor and stuff, and I try to make it look more like filigree than it does wrinkles, like that. I'm not sure how successful that is, but I can't help myself, you know? Like, I just like drawing these little wrinkly details on stuff. I think this is a pretty good thickness for what I'm trying to do. I was initially gonna go with a 0.5, but that would have been probably a bad decision. Okay, there we go. Let's see, the helmet looks mantis-like. Yeah, I'm kind of making it like look a little bit like a skull, a little bit like a mantis of some sort. Not sure exactly what it is, but I think that's kind of the beauty of it a little bit. You can't really tell exactly what it is. I do like art like that where you can't really make out what it's supposed to be. I think that's one of the joys of abstract art. I do like to incorporate that as much as I can into my art pieces when I can do it. Sometimes I need a really clear image and it doesn't fit, but for my personal art pieces, again, like I don't show all of my personal art pieces like online. I sometimes don't even upload them anywhere, but for a lot of the stuff that I make for myself, it starts off with an abstract shape. Okay, there we go. I've also gotten requests to do some drawing tutorials on the channel. A few requests actually, like 3. I want to do it, I'm just not sure where to start, especially since I'm not an expert in the area or anything like that. Not to say I'm an expert with solo RPGs, I'm not. It's just that there's a wide berth of like information regarding art and, you know, portrait drawing and stuff like that. So I'm not sure where I can kind of like weigh in terms of some of that stuff in a way that will be useful for... Maybe I'll do a video, I was thinking of this, I'll maybe do a video on like visual journaling or solo RPGs. That might be a bit more useful than just a general how to draw a portrait kind of thing. I think something like here's how you kind of detail out adventure, that might work better. So that's something I've been thinking about, like trying to figure out how to approach, since I've gotten a few requests for it. Especially since I think that kind of thing is important. I think like that kind of thing can affect the way you look at your journal, it can affect the way that you kind of like play the game, especially if you're playing alone. I think it's important to have these things, even if you don't necessarily show them to anybody. And I can see that like my pencil sketch is a little bit off there. I'm actually going to fix it in the inking side of things. I'm not gonna bother erasing and doing all that. I'm just gonna fix it directly right now with the inking side. So you can see it was a bit lopsided, so I'm just changing that. There you go. I'm also kind of like just feeling the direction of how helmet is gonna look. Like I said, I didn't get a lot of the details out during the penciling phase. And you can probably see what I mean by that now. As you can see, there's like a lot of extra details that I did not even like think of penciling out. And I think this is a lot of where I don't really think of myself as having one particular style, but this is a lot of where my quote-unquote style comes from. Is during the inking phase when I find stuff that will just add to it impromptu on the fly. And also since a lot of my artwork just starts in the inking phase anyway, no penciling phase usually. So okay, I like that. I like the direction that this is going in. The difference from something like this, and if you're kind of like also doing drawing, here's kind of a small tip, I guess. Do take breaks, and I don't just mean like breaks for your hand or whatever. I mean like breaks from looking at your art piece. Take like a 2-hour, 3-hour break from looking at it, and maybe work on something else. You'll come to it, and you'll see that you messed up something here, or it could have been better over there, and you can fix it. Don't just do the whole thing in one go, like I am about to do. Take some time, look at it, kind of like, even if you're doing a digital art piece that can be like undone, I will still recommend that you take some time away from the piece itself. Looks more organic now. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go for from the beginning. I wanted to make it like an organic kind of like helmet design. But I didn't want to necessarily draw that in because this is a fun part for me. I like making things look organic and kind of fleshy, you know, even if it is a helmet. Do that, and then yep, we'll just fill in the rest here. Doesn't need to be exactly the same in terms of like all the details and stuff, but I want to get an approximation of some of them. So I'm gonna actually take a look at this, and then I'm gonna take a look at that, and just try and figure out how I can make it look somewhat similar at the very least. I'm gonna change that a bit here. Back here. If you're doing this with a dip pen or a fountain pen, this is the kind of like benefit of using these microns. Very fast drying, so I can just go back and forth without having to worry about smearing. For the most part, if I'm going back and forth too fast, I can still smear it, but for the most part, I am not worried about that. Okay. I'm also not worried about having it be completely equal on both sides. That's something that I don't really care about. And also I think it can detract from the piece itself if the whole thing is symmetrical. Like perfectly symmetrical. Depends on what you're going for, obviously, but for what I'm going for here, I want something a bit more organic. Hey, there you go. So that's a good kind of like starting point. To add the details here. Okay. Going a bit too fast, I need to slow down a bit. Tempo is also really important when you're doing artwork. It's important to kind of figure out your speed for things. For gestural studies, for example, you want to do them very fast. For detail work, you want to slow down. it will definitely be apparent in your strokes, unless you're like a complete master, in which case all of my advice doesn't really apply to you. Let's see. Okay. That's good, I think. I'm actually gonna zoom the camera in further. Okay, I'm gonna move some of this aside so that I can see some of the details a bit better. I'm gonna make it a little bit more ornate, and the way I'm gonna do that is by having repeating patterns. If you see this part here and you see this part here, a lot of the way that you make armor look like armor in terms of decorations, I found at least, is that you have repeating lines. So I won't do it right now, but like, actually I think it will look cool, so I'll do it. So like something like this. That makes it look thicker. So something like that kind of makes it look like there's a bulge on it, which kind of contributes to that armor feel. Something I learned by studying different drawings of armor as well as actual armor itself. It also like can be used for tubing and all that, obviously. But when you want something to look like it's kind of like bulging out, it's a good way to do it. Let's see. Okay. And I'm wondering here, at this point here, I'm wondering whether I should use a marker and just make it completely dark, or if I want to hatch it. And this is where my original drawing comes into play here. I wanted to be a bit more grayish there, so I'm not going to actually use a marker. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just do some light hatching. I'm going to try to keep a consistent kind of tone to it. A consistent value. And I'm also going to try to arrange it according to the direction of the armor itself. Where is the armor actually facing? Then for these ones here, like the ones over here, I can then start to increase that. So I can start increasing not the thickness of the line, but the density of the lines. So you see how I'm like slowly gradating it, even though I don't have grays. So I'm just slowly kind of like adding more and more density to the line work while keeping the thickness the same. And then over here, I can basically make it way more dense. So I can do something like this. Yeah. Then for here, I can just fill it in. I don't even need to hatch it. I can do that. And see how it like kind of like gradates from top to bottom? That's kind of what you want to do. If you're doing pen and ink, to get familiar with being able to communicate different varieties of tone and value by using just normal lines. Okay. I think that's good. I'm gonna actually fill in some of this part here. We're gonna start doing this part here, but I'm trying to figure out, do I want the rest of it dark? I think I do, so... This one is a bit tricky. I think I'm going to actually use a fill for this. I'm not sure. Should I? I'm not too certain about this part. I guess I could just try using a fill. No, actually it will be less risky to try hatching first, and if that doesn't work, then I'll do a fill. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna just fill in the overall shapes here. Okay, so the light's coming from above. Yep, the light is basically coming from a little bit above, but more towards the back. And then there's gonna be another light kind of coming slightly from the top. So there's gonna be like two lights. That's how I have it in my head at the current moment. But I will say that for pieces like this, where it's a lot more stylistic, I don't really care that much about consistent lighting. Which might trigger some people, I'm not sure. But for me, I don't really care too much about lighting for pieces like this where it's a lot more abstract. I'm just gonna do hatching for this, so I'm gonna actually flip it. I'm more concerned about like what makes a good contrast than what looks realistic, if that makes sense. Oh, I already fucked it up. That's my first fuck up. I don't know how many of you noticed what the fuck up was, but I fucked up. That's the good thing about like doing a lot of like this kind of detail inking. Even if you make like a egregious fuck up, most people won't be able to see what it actually was. So it's fine. Okay. Got that. Let's see. I think we could, yeah, you know what? We could actually, we could leave it like this. And then if it turns out that we need more of the darkness later on, we can always add it in. We're gonna make this part very dark though. So this part will actually be fading out a bit here. Okay, that's good. We're gonna do this. And this. Okay, for this one I'm actually going to make it pretty dense, since it's starting to go towards the bottom there. And again, keep looking at our plan here, trying to figure out how it's going to look in the overall composition. Man, I love speaking like I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're gonna have some of that there, kind of like the outline there. And okay, so this part here, I'm actually gonna keep it real simple, and I'm gonna draw the filigree here, and then the rest is gonna be using a Posca marker, I think. Or actually no, we'll switch to a 08. This is 04. 02. Where's my 08 marker? Where is it? Is it still here? Oh, here it is. Switching to 08. Okay. I'm doing a little bit of a thicker line now, so we can fill some of this stuff in. I'm not really concerned about having too much hatching here now, because all this is just going to be in darkness. Like that. Okay. Wait, you don't know what you're talking about? No, I have no idea. What wait, you thought I knew what I was talking about? Welcome to the Chow Clips channel, where I'm a charlatan. Charlatan. Is that how you say it? Charlatan? That's what I am. Posca markers or no? Yeah, let's do the Posca marker. Is this too thick? I probably need a thinner Posca marker for this one. Some will probably work, right? No, this is way too thin. Shit, I already fucked it up. Where's my... Here we go. Bullet tip one. This... that's fine. Let's just use this one. I bamboozled all of you. You thought I was like an expert on something, but turns out I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. We're gonna fill that in here. I like, it's also like kind of, I don't know, I feel like when I do my solo RPG videos that a lot of people think that I know what I'm doing, but in actual fact, here's the secret, I don't. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just making it up as I go along, and you should too. Not being able to know how to make it up as you go along is not an excuse to not get started. Okay, that's good. We are going to start doing the most tedious part, which is the ropes, which I don't know if I'm looking forward to or I'm trying to avoid. I'm not sure which. We need an 08 for that. Let's use an 08. The funny thing about the ropes here, like I said, I really like drawing clothing folds, but I don't like hatching clothing folds. Find them incredibly time consuming to hatch, to the point where I'm trying to wonder if I can alter my value composition a bit, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stick with our value composition. So that's gonna be grayish. And it's going to be about this amount of gray. So that, you can see how much gray that is, right? We're going to go for something like that. This is the level of gray that we want for this. Maybe a bit closer actually, let's say like that. I think that's the amount of gray that we want to go for. So just keeping that in mind, and we have to keep that entirely consistent. I'm gonna skip this track because the album has looped again. I learned a bunch about solo gaming with your Fallen series. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Like, I'm really glad that it helps people. It's just, you know, I'm no expert on this. All of us are still trying to figure things out, you know? Okay, that looks like it's gonna take a fuck ton of time. Alright, let's start. So, here's the eternal question, right? Should I go in the direction of the clothing fold? Or should I go perpendicular to it? Or should I go in the direction of the lighting? We already have that answered in our thumbnail, thankfully. So we're gonna go in this direction. As much as we can anyway. And then for any additional hatching, we'll make it up as we go along. So... okay. It's gonna take a while. Okay, so we're going for this. Gotta keep remembering that. And sometimes you can actually make it closer, like here, but you generally want to have that amount. So we're gonna go like that. But you can notice that I am leaving out some white spots here and there. And that's for like parts where the folds are kind of hitting the light. The light, quote unquote. Okay. What I tend to do after this is I'll tend to go in to this part here and I'll accentuate it by doing that, which is something that's gonna take me a long ass time to do. I'm bitching and moaning about this, but it doesn't take that long. It honestly does not. It just seems like it's a long time because it's incredibly repetitive. But it can be very relaxing as well. I think hatching can be very relaxing. It's part of the reason why I enjoy drawing dungeons. Kind of just, you know, you just zone out. But you know me, I gotta bitch and moan about everything. Okay. So we got a general direction for where the clothing is gonna fold towards. But like I said, we can make small adjustments, just small adjustments. And we have a general idea of like the amount of gray that we want. And again, small adjustments can be made. Like for example here, there's this section here, where that's basically where the armpit is, right? So we can change up the thickness of this. And the way that you realize like when and where to use that is mostly like, it just comes down to doing it a lot. Unfortunately, I can't really give any good advice on that. It comes down to knowing, for me the way I learned it is by doing a lot of painting. Like watercolor painting and digital painting. And just figuring out how values work. Unfortunately, that part I can't really give exact guidance on. Maybe somebody else can, but not me. Look for fold references online before you commit. I didn't even read that part. I'm not going to, because I actually... Well, I've done a lot of fold studies, firstly. But secondly, even if I mess it up, I usually mess it up so that it looks better. So I don't usually actually do any research into fold studies because I've done so much like live studies of it, and I still do. I actually still do like almost every week I will like do live studies of fabric. So I generally when I'm doing these pieces I don't actually look at how fabric folds because it's so dependent on the situation, the lighting, the kind of fabric, etc. that I just kind of like rely on my gut instinct a lot of the time. And now I'm really tempted at this point here. I'm really tempted to make this part completely white. I like to like make those kind of things stand out, but I know that this whole part is gonna be black, and if I make that white, it's gonna draw all the attention towards that point, right? So I'm not gonna make it white. Okay. I'm gonna change some of this a bit. Looks good. Okay. Gonna keep going. Alright, I'm liking that. So we're gonna make it fold around here now. So again, the folds, we're going more for this than this, where it's kind of like going over like that. So we're gonna do like that. Oh, I'm already fucking it up. Being fucked up. I think I have to change my inking direction to not fuck it up as much. Yeah, that works. How long have we been live for anyway? Let me check. We have been live for an hour and a half. That's a long time. At least for me. But you know what? Feeling like we can keep going today. Feeling like I wanna get a lot of this piece done before we call it for today. Okay, here's the question. Do I make this part completely dark so that I can shine a bit of the wrist through? That's something I didn't really consider in these drawings. But I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do it. And I think I'm gonna do it through gradations, right? So I'm gonna do it through gradations. You can kind of see that I am starting bit by bit, slowly making it denser and denser. Just slowly working my way through until it hits a point where it's completely dense and I can just use a marker. It's around there. Then at this point you can just be a bit more scribbly with it actually. Like that. Okay, I'm just gonna be scribbly with it here until around here. And now I'm gonna use a marker. So I'm gonna switch. Is it this one? Is it bullet tip? Yep. Okay. You know, it's interesting when I'm doing like this kind of drawing. I don't usually like think out my thoughts aloud while I'm making all these like quote-unquote design decisions. It's illuminating actually, like live streaming this and hearing what my rationale is for certain things. Because I don't usually, you know, think of them out aloud. Get scribbly with it. Yo, Jack, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna make this red, I think. I'm not sure if we will actually. We'll have to see at the very end. We have to make it kind of. I think I'm actually gonna. That's a bit too much of a decision to make. So actually, at the end of it, I'm actually gonna scan it in, add the red, see how I feel about it, and if I like it a lot, I'll use the marker. So. It's part where I'm getting a bit discouraged about where this piece is going actually. And I think the cure for that, when you get discouraged, generally is to walk away from the piece for a little bit. But I don't want to do that right now. So my solution is going to be a bit different. My solution is going to be, I'm going to cover this entire area with black. So that I don't really have to think and I just can have a nice kind of background. And then we're gonna do that the same thing for down here as well. Then all we need to do is fill in these parts. Then my favorite part will be the wrist. I really enjoy doing muscles and stuff, so that's gonna be very fun. But I think we're actually gonna fill this entire area in with black. And not only will it kind of like make the piece look better, like already, it will also give us a better idea of the values and the tone that we're going for. I love this man in his hairy hands. Yo! Stop making him feel self-conscious about his hairy hands. I have ape hands. It's been the case since I was young. Unfortunately. Or fortunately. You know, who knows. Those are basically bare hands. Yeah, basically. Sorry. Oh my god, I got a bit of cough going on. We need a very thick marker. Oh, that cough. Here we go. Look at this thick boy. It's really thick. Oh my god. Did I even... Okay, I did open it up before. I can't even... Okay, okay. Alright, where do we start? This is a bit intimidating, I won't lie. Just gonna get the paint out there. Did I actually just cause paint to... Okay, I didn't. Okay. I thought paint went on my desk. Okay, we're gonna start filling it in. I don't know how long this is gonna take actually. Let's try it. It is good and nice piece. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna... I wanna figure out like generally how it looks a lot more accurately. So I'm gonna start filling it in. And also I shouldn't have used this paper. This paper is warping a bit. And it's gonna warp a lot more once I put the black on it. So I shouldn't have used this paper. I should have used Bristol board, but I don't have fancy drawing paper at the moment. Believe it or not. Even though it's my fucking job. I don't have fancy drawing paper. I need to buy some. Yeah. I need to buy some. Oh shit, I forgot. We have to erase... Fuck. We have to erase the pencil lines before we do this. At least from the surrounding areas. Ah, shit. Because, I don't know how to explain it, but like, eraser with Posca is gonna be a disaster. I'm gonna just erase it from like, as close as I can without erasing the paint. Shit. I forgot. Okay, at least we got it before we did the hit. Here. Before we got ahead of ourselves. Oh my god. That was almost a disaster. Okay, there we go. Just gonna try to erase this gently as I can. I'm very scared. Yeah, I think... Okay, that's good. I think that's good enough. Okay, let's see. Be careful when opening podcasts like that. Believe me, I opened it like... What? Oh. Thank you for the advice. Should probably have a tissue here. I'm incredibly scared now. I'm just gonna open it this time. Okay, there we go. I'm just so scared now. Now that you say that. No fancy drawing paper, fire this man. It's true. It's true. If you're a client of mine, I'm drawing all your shit on like printer paper. I'm sorry, but it's how it is. It's the truth. It's gonna warp so bad. This paper is gonna warp like fucking crazy. Okay. Also, Posca markers are really cool. I really like them. Oh shit. But I haven't really like filled in a large area with Posca markers, believe it or not. I'm so fucking scared. Do I just... Is this how it works? Do I just do it like this? Like, doesn't matter like the direction, right? Because like when you scan it in and you level adjust it, it's just going to be... Like, it doesn't matter. Right? I think? I hope I'm doing this right. I should probably like get more of the paint out. These are paint markers, by the way, so it's not like ink, like actual paint, which is why it's warping the fuck out of this paper right now. What's the story behind this person? For fun or for a commission? This is actually just for fun. Yeah, it's just for fun. We were actually thinking about like drawing some kind of like dark night, and I did a few thumbnails, and we're just like transferring that over to a drawing paper. And I'm trying to like do more elaborate pieces over time. So this is kind of good practice for that. Also because I've kind of been feeling stressed and overwhelmed recently, and I thought, you know, a good exercise for that is to just draw. Because drawing de-stresses me until it warps my fucking paper and I'm so anxious about what's gonna happen to my paper. Is it fucked up? Is it fucked up? It is. Great. Hope the scanning of it doesn't... Well, the scan... when I scan it, it's gonna be lying flat, right? So it should be fine. I need to get fancy drawing paper. It's like so cheap. It's like I can get like a full pad of it for like $5. Why am I not doing this? Why am I drawing on like printer paper essentially that I get from like Popular for like $5 for 120 pieces? This is like more fancy printer paper. It's like higher GSM, so I was like, that wouldn't warp the paper, right? Right? It warps the paper. It fucking warps the paper. It's horrible. Fuck, it's so badly warped. Jesus. Oh my god. This is horrible. Okay, okay, this look, lesson learned. I just need to get fancy drawing paper. That's the lesson that I have learned. I just need to get fancy drawing paper and everything will be okay. Oh my god, okay, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep drawing on printer paper. Especially when I'm doing like these huge swaths of like black. I need at least some kind of like smooth Bristol board. Oh my god. It's so warped. I don't know if you can see that on screen, can you? You can't, but it's like really warped. It's kind of like curling up and stuff. You kind of feel it, even like though I'm holding the bottom of the paper. Did I fuck it up? I did. Good. It's scary. I don't know how people like fill in large chunks of black and they're just like very nonchalant about it. I'm constantly scared that I'll like the paint will somehow just like smudge onto the piece or something. I don't know. Like, I get these irrational worries. Oh my god, it's so warped. Look at that. You see that? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to flatten this thing out. Pretend it's intentional. Yep, guys, on purpose, I drew with printer paper. Shit. Yeah, it's intentional. Yeah, it's all according to plan, you see. I wanted the paper to warp. Yeah. Well, I'm not convincing even myself. Okay, let's just fill in that area there. Alright, there we go. Very cool. Very neat. Okay, despite the massive amount of warping, this looks pretty radical, I think. I think this looks pretty cool. How do I stop it from warping? God damn it. Oh my god. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to figure this out. Soaked up all of the paint there. I heard that a good way of doing it is actually to... Oh, it's so fragile. I feel like it's gonna break apart in my hands. I heard a good way is like to paint on the opposite surface, but that's just gonna break my... It's just gonna break it, I think. Oh my god, you just see that? I just fucked up my desk. Do I have water on hand? Oh, is that oh my god. I'll be right back with water. This is a very professional stream. I need tissue, and I need water. I'll be right back. Fuck. 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 I have wet the tissue, and now I will clean the table. Is it even gonna... Is this gonna come off? Is this forever here? Did I just fuck up my table live on stream? Is this content? Oh my god, I think I actually did fuck it up. Like, no joke, I actually might have. Got these soap or something like... Oh wait, no, it's coming off, it's coming off. Yep, this is truly... This is great content, I think. I'm gonna have to end off the fucking stream because this is horrible. Let's see, lay it flat on the backside up, spray it with a bit of water, put baking paper on top and something heavy to press it. Wait for it to dry. This works only if you haven't used any water-based markers. I like how I just talked all that massive game about like, oh, here's my thought process, here's my, like, what I'm thinking about the design. And then I draw on printer paper and I fuck up my desk. Live on stream. It's like it's a chow moment, you see. I'll figure out something. Okay, I cleaned my desk, I think. I think that's, yeah, that's good to go. Alright, we did it. We did it. There we go, it's clean. Hooray. Okay, let's move the... What a disaster. Maybe I'll finish the rest of this digitally. No, I'm not gonna do that. I might fill in the parts down here after I do the inking, but that's only because I'm scared it will warp somewhere. Well, lesson learned. Lesson learned. That's okay. It's fine. I tell myself. Where's my bullet tip marker? Is it this one? I think this is probably good to go. Okay. Probably good. Yeah, that's fine. Wait, actually, no. This is a thicker one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, there you go. Okay. What a fucking disaster. Okay. I might actually have to do the rest of this Not off stream, but maybe digitally? I don't know. Also, I probably should end off the stream soon, because how long has it been? Oh my god, it's going up to 2 hours. It's going up to 2 hours. It looks good though, I do think it looks pretty dang good. But boy howdy, did I sure fuck up. Well, that's why we have these streams. We're all here to learn, including me. And I guess we're also here to fuck up our desk permanently with black paint. Well, at least it wasn't there for too long. I was able to clean it off. Okay. Okay, there we go. Looking good. Looking pretty good. Yep. Yep. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna right after the stream ends, I'm gonna go on Amazon and I'm gonna buy like a 40 pack of like Bristol board. Like I just need Bristol board now. Like fuck, man, like Jesus. Apparently you shouldn't use printer paper for this shit. That said, it looks pretty good. It still looks pretty good. But oh my god. Christ. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Should we finish up this section here or should we call it a day? What do you guys think? I have no idea, like, I feel like all my vibes are off as soon as I realized that, my paper was warping. I started panicking, and now I'm, like, completely lost as to what to do. I mean, I mean, we could finish up this part here at least, alright. Not sure. We could also like scan it in and then do the rest digitally since we fucked up the paper permanently. Also smart to use a paper tape to make a frame and then stick it to a flat surface. It will prevent some— oh, that's smart! Probably smarter to actually use Bristol board instead of printer paper though. High drama? Yeah, I know, right? This is content. This is like prime tuber content. I think, yeah, we'll actually scan it in and we'll do the rest digitally. So stupid. It's so dumb. Well, lesson learned. I'm gonna go, right after this, I'm gonna go on fucking Amazon, I'm gonna buy a bunch of Bristol board. Or I'll go to the art store. I'll probably go to the art store. I'm not gonna give Jeff Bezos any of my money. What am I thinking? Alright, well, it is what it is. I think at the very least we should at least erase out the sections here, or like at least ink out some of these sections here, because the reason for that is because I think if I scan it in and I do a levels adjustment, it's going to actually take some of the pencil. So I'm trying to figure this out. Do I want that? I think that's fine, but I think this part here and this part here should be consistent. So we're gonna try to finish that right now. What do we use for that? A 05 or a 04? A 04. Okay, we'll just finish up this side. We'll try not to panic. Everything's okay. Everything is fine. Did I use 04? I can't remember. Feels like this is a little bit thinner. Yeah, we're just gonna try to fill it out the same way. And then we're gonna scan it in and do the rest of the hand details. The hand details, we'll try to do it on the computer. That won't be on this stream probably, I think. Okay. Sorry I'm not looking at chat. I'm trying to figure out how to keep the same line width. I still show the form. I think that looks good. I think you owe us a ukulele apology video at this point. Hi drama. That's right. I sure did fuck up. Sure did fuck up. Okay. What the hell is a ukulele apology video actually? I like said that out loud and I wasn't able to like perfectly process it in my mind. But now that I'm thinking about it, what the hell does that even mean? Like, what's a ukulele apology video? Do you play the ukulele while you're apologizing? Is it part of the apology? Is it before the apology? Like, how does that work? Okay, let's fill that in. Okay, there we go. Okay. Making this a little bit more dense, like we did just now with this. We're also gonna have a few areas that are really dense, like that. Yeah, I feel like my whole like tempo was thrown off by that, unfortunately. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. It's more like my tempo was a bit thrown off. So once we're done with this part here, we're actually gonna call it a day. We're gonna get to around here for this part, and then we're gonna call it. And I'm gonna scan it in, and we'll work on it from there. I'll probably do that off stream, or I'll do that next stream, depending. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're apologizing to all the what the fuck? Jesus. That's I'm not gonna read that comment out loud. Okay, let's see here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so I think like I think that's good. I'm just starting to notice a little bit though that some parts here and there I could have done a bit more gradation, but that's fine. I think when we actually put it into the computer, we start doing all the white line work and stuff, we can start to kind of figure it out from there. I'm gonna do a level adjustment. This is more technical. I'm gonna have two layers. I'm gonna have the original one with all the pencil work, and then I'm gonna have that be blue lined. On top of that, I'm gonna have another layer with just the ink work. I'm gonna try to separate it out if I can. Okay, there we go. Okay. Read it out loud, you coward. No, it's been pretty much like confirmed that I'm a coward, so I have no qualms about that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being a coward. Keeps me alive. Let's see. Do that. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna do this last part here. We're gonna just fill out this section. We're gonna just do this last part, and then we'll call it a day. So we'll fill in up to here, I think. Get scribbly with it around here, as Jack says. Around there, and then we'll fill it in with a marker. Then from there, going downwards is going to have like some lines, but mostly it's gonna be a gradation of darkness. So we'll do that. I think around from there to around, I would like to say like from here until here. That whole part is gonna be completely dark. So we'll just fill that in, and then we're done. There we go. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. I think we made a lot of progress today. Actually, I think as is, this already looks pretty good. I might actually make a few changes to composition now that it's going to be digital. It gives me a little bit of leeway. But I am gonna actually scan this in, and then we're gonna see how it goes. Alright, let's see. By the way, your combat rules work rather well for mass combat too, at least in my experience. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I was actually going to combine it with chainmail for really large mass combats, for a campaign that I'm planning on doing soon. And I'm trying to figure out how to merge those two in together. I want to see it when it's finished. Yeah, I think I'm gonna scan it in. I'm gonna do levels adjustment, and then I'm going to start doing the rest digitally. I kind of wanted to do the whole thing traditionally, but like I said, I'm gonna buy some Bristol board, and I'm gonna try not to repeat the same mistake of drawing on printer paper when I'm filling the whole thing in with black. Looks great, I like the shading. Thank you, thank you. It means a lot to me, coming from you, Caustic. Alright, okay, thank you everybody for coming by. Whoa, I was recording this entire stream. That's not... Why did I do that? I only do that for my RPG videos. Oh well, stop recording. And I'm gonna stop streaming as well. Goodbye everybody. Thanks for coming by. Wait, I should actually... Enough people... Wait, I'm gonna thank everybody individually. Thank you for coming, Nardkill, Nokia, Caustic, The Weekly Scroll, Arnabren, Caustic. Wait, I just said Caustic twice. That's fine. Attack was Bane. Josh Dunham. I'm reading this like an AI. C Jack D. C. 100 years. Bar. Best Nick. Dovsky. Thank you for coming to the stream. Is that how AI talk? I don't know. They're kind of advancing a lot recently. Alright, goodbye everybody. Thanks for coming by.